This is Jay Gove Rides. So I knew I was embarking on a long bike ride, so I wanted to go to the store and pick up my favorite snack, bananas. But when I arrived, I noticed something peculiar that delayed me going inside. This row of taxi cabs parked in front of the store. Now, I've only ever seen something like this outside the airport. Cabs just waiting for fares on spec. It seemed a bit weird to me at first, but after a bit of thought, I realized the brilliance. Why would you go sit out at the airport with 30 other joker taxis waiting for hours to drive people who knows where on miserably congested freeways, using every fiber of their being not to abandon that cab right there in traffic, hop on a bike, and never get back in that piece of shit car again? Or you could sit in a no parking zone in front of a grocery store. Get out of your cab, sit in the sun, talk to the other cabbies. Seems like more of a hang than a stressful job. Then, when the time comes, you help somebody load their groceries and drive them somewhere in the neighborhood, avoiding those damn freeways. Now I know that taxis and bikers are naturally born enemies. Both parties are in a heated war over if the bike lanes are for the cabs or bikes. But I can respect the fact that cabs are marked, so when I see one on a ride, I can anticipate a dick move and brace for impact. It's the Ubers you gotta watch out for. They perform the same whack maneuvers, but are way harder to identify, so I can't anticipate and just get ran over. So, I can appreciate these drivers are relaxed and have a zen way to practice their art. Maybe one day the bikers and drivers can join forces to take down the common enemy, these jag-offs on electric scooters. I biked back and forth these cabs several times, and it seemed they were getting suspicious of me, so I had to leave without getting my bananas. So what I encountered next is truly heartbreaking. The roadside memorial of a fallen homeless man. It is beautiful. His shopping cart decorated with all his worldly possessions. This area was his beat, where he would hang out at red lights with a sign, depending on the kindness of strangers. A lot of people don't think this is a real job, but it's a tough gig. Doctors, lawyers, they got it easy compared to the professional homeless. Who amongst us could live outdoors, regardless of the weather? Nowhere to go, walking around with all your shit? Now that's hard work, and they don't see any monetary compensation for all they do in a day. So to see this man forever immortalized by his shopping cart after he was callously ran over in a hit and run, doing what he loves, is a small step in the right direction. Sadly though, this is not where this story ends. I returned the next day to pay my respects to the fallen soldier. And what do I see upon my return? Nothing. The city removed the cart. What a disgusting act. The bureaucrats at City Hall have no heart. Isn't every one of us, including the fat cats at City Hall, just one step removed from being homeless? The man who was immortalized will now be forgotten with no trace left behind of his existence. With each passing day, the legacy he left behind slowly fades from the memory of all who drive this road, forever forgotten in the bowels of the city he once called home. Just chalk it up as another stain on the reputation of this city. This utter disregard for life devastated me. Fortunately though, at the time of my ride, the memorial was standing proud and I was on cloud 9, knowing I could come anytime to pay my respects. I told myself when I started this ride that no matter what, I was gonna go the whole ride without stopping to take a piss. I knew there was no chance I could do it. I pulled off to one of my favorite spots. I usually only come here in the summertime, so I was surprised to see all the rocks covered in ice. Usually I'd walk across these rocks and jump down near the water, but I fell as soon as I stepped on the ice. So it was on to plan B. I went over to use this little beach. It actually turned out to be better. Why waste your money on a multi-million-dollar lakeside mansion when you can come down here for a piss and get million-dollar views for free? What a serene spot to do your business. Aside from the view, there's also a lot of other positives to this spot. This huge wall protects you from being seen by any concerned conners who might not approve of what you're doing down there. The wall also has a crevice for you to tuck into for added privacy. But me? I don't fart around with no stinking crevice. I prefer the view and the freedom standing in the middle of the beach offers. Even right in the middle of the beach, you get some good coverage. Your only vulnerability is this park across the way. You may encounter some people over there trying to ruin the piss you're enjoying. So if that's the case, I recommend just waving at them to show you're not a threat and just enjoying a piss with a view. Look at that wall do its thing. When I went to leave, I could see just how effective that wall is. Right on the other side of these rocks is where I was pissing. So anyone enjoying the view from up here is none the wiser to what's going on down below. I left there pretty happy with how things played out. My last stop of the day, it really rubbed me the wrong way. I'm talking about this billboard. This drawing is objectively whack. It's a profile of a fish. So why is the fish wearing the tie on his side? I've never seen a person wear a tie down their arm. So why would a fish? This is the dumbest tie interpretation I've seen since Marty McFly and Back to the Future 2. Why would people in the future wear two ties? You know, I could almost forgive the tie, but the hat is on forward. So no one knew that, but didn't know how a tie works? What kind of job prospects will this fish get if he can't even wear a tie properly? Now you might think I'm being harsh, because he's just a 5-year-old kid. But think of it like this. Noah's gonna strut into kindergarten thinking he's a pimp because he has his art on a billboard. making him think he's already perfect and there's no reason to improve his art. Riding off the acclaim of his fish until he's an adult and takes the fish to the Louvre to take the place of the Mona Lisa. Then the curator of the Louvre laughs him back to reality, only to realize he's been duped all these years, and his life ruined because the Goldfish Corporation is trying to move crackers by thrusting this kid's art onto a billboard. Like this is on a busy street, lots of eyeballs. Did they take into consideration what this abomination would do to the property values of the homeowners in this area? It says Neighborhood Watch protects this neighborhood. Well, they didn't protect them from Noah's fish. Take this lady, for example. You know, she's thinking this billboard is the worst part of her walk home. Wondering how the neighborhood could allow this, and if she'd get fair market value for her house, so she never has to see it again. In reality, I'm the only guy who's actually looking out for the well-being of Noah. I just hope it isn't too late for him and he can get back to working on his art, 'cause Lord knows he needs it. So that was it. I made it home safely again, a little wiser and a little stronger. Turns out, I had bananas here the whole time.